This is the easiest way to reverse insulin resistance, and I wish I had known about this a long time ago because I went from looking like this and weighing 220 pounds where I had constant cravings, I was always tired, sleep apnea, my depression and anxiety was super high, my migraines were out of control. I would have 2 to 3 migraines a week. It was terrible. And I found out that all of those things were because of insulin resistance. And I always struggled because I felt like I was the problem and most people just couldn't relate to how I was truly feeling and that I was at a loss. There was no help for me. And yet, there was help because this is me now. I no longer have depression, so I no longer take my medicine for my depression and anxiety. I no longer have all of the cravings. I no longer have my sleep apnea. My migraines have gone from 2 to 3 a week to maybe 1 migraine a month. I have lost 52 pounds. I have lost like 45 inches. And I feel younger, my energy higher. I feel amazing. So before I get into how to reverse insulin resistance, you have to understand a few things. When we eat carbohydrates, it affects our blood sugar levels, and that is because those carbs break down into sugars. And when this happens, our blood sugars rise. And when insulin gets released, it acts as a key to the door for the cell for it to open up and allow that glucose to get into that cell where it can be used as energy or stored for later. However, when we become insulin resistant, that key stops working and the glucose needs to go somewhere. So our body in turn releases even more insulin to get that door to open. And this causes our insulin levels to be elevated all the time. And if this is left unaddressed, it can cause more chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and all of these. So our goal to reverse insulin resistance is to first lower our insulin level. So here is how I did it, and I'm going to tell you how you can do it as well. First, we need to give our bodies a break from the constant glucose spikes, which is a constant spike in our insulin. So for me, what that meant was I started intermittent fasting because it takes insulin so much longer to come back down than what it does for the glucose level. Intermittent fasting will give your body the break that it needs for your cells to not have to deal with all of that insulin. And it gives them a chance to start healing and becoming insulin sensitive. So consider this. Every time we are snacking, we are spiking our glucose again, and that starts the timer over for how long that insulin is in our bloodstream. So me personally, I like the 16-8 hour fasting, which means I eat in an 8-hour window and I don't eat anything in my 16-hour window. So I start eating around noon and then I eat again around 6, 8 o'clock. Then I don't eat anything again until the next day. I skip breakfast and my day starts again in my 8-hour eating window around noon. Now, if you've tried intermittent fasting before and you were constantly hungry, you got headaches, you were shaky, people told you that you've turned into this mean person because you're now hangry, I've got you. This is what I use to help with all of that. It helps with the cravings, it helps with my energy, it helps me to not think about food, which that's huge. And best of all, it speeds up my fat burning process. Now, when you eat that first meal, it is very important for you to focus on having fiber, fat, protein, and complex carbs. And when you eat in that order, it actually helps keep your glucose levels lower. And most of us are fiber deficient. So what I do to help with my fiber deficiency is this. This is a blend of 9 different soluble and insoluble plant-based fibers, which is actually designed to help absorb excess carbs. And that helps keep my glucose levels low. Lower glucose, lower insulin, actually helps speed up the process of reversing my insulin resistance and becoming insulin sensitive. And as you are reversing your insulin resistance and becoming insulin sensitive, you are going to feel absolutely amazing.